But the National Union of Ghana Students are protesting the decision by some public universities to increase fees beyond the 15% approved percentage. The union argues that students are already reeling under the impact of the current economic hardship, and the fee hikes will further worsen the situation. And joining me now in the studio is Dennis Apialabi, who is the president of NUGS. You're welcome. Good afternoon to you. And compliments of the season to you and your students.
You're looking good as usual.
Thank you. You guys are struggling. We know you're not chilling now. Yeah. So tell us, I mean, we ran the story, I think, a week ago. And when the notice came that first we were having 2 of your whole members out from the University of Ghana due to what happened, in your past, what's it called? Year. So the fee situation seemed to be compounding, maybe more for some of the students, a little less for other students. What exactly is going on now?
So thank you very much that you take in interest in this. It is very, very unfortunate that we are at this point. Institutions are built, or Parliament is built to regulate the actions of institutions. So the law, as provided by Act 1080, the Fees and Charges Act of Parliament, says that fees would have to be charged, or increment in fees or approval of fees is done by Parliament through the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. The back and forth from us, from initially, we have said that we do not subscribe to any increment at all, considering the things that we find ourselves in. At the point of negotiation, we were able to get to 15% with Parliament, and Parliament approves 15%. But what is at stake now is that there is a glaring and blatant disregard for Parliament's approval, with some institutions going beyond that 15%. We've had assurances from stakeholders that it's going to be resolved. It's going to be resolved. But then we are worried because on the 16th of December this month, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission wrote to the universities, telling the universities to reduce the fees and reverse it to the parliamentary threshold, because they could be cited for parliamentary contempt. Nothing has been done. Institutions are still calling on students to pay the fees.
So hold on. The institutions, in terms of the universities, they are charging on their own.
On their own,
without the approval of the tertiary education.
Definitely, without the approval of Parliament. Outside the approval of Parliament, as we speak now, unfortunately, 20th of December, we met JTEC. We spoke to JTEC. JTEC wrote again to the universities or the institutions on the 22nd of December, alerting them that they should reverse their anomaly and also allow students pay 50% and register. But this is the situation we have ourselves in.
And as president of NUGS, the universities explain to you why that.
So, the challenge is that there can't even be an explanation. In the face of the law is very straightforward about the approval or the charges of fees.
There can't be an explanation. Maybe you are not ready to listen.
First of all, there's not been any explanation. And 2, there shouldn't be an explanation. The law says do not go beyond 15%. It is as simple as that. Any attempt to sidestep it is a contravention of the law, blatantly in the face, and that is what the universities are doing. I take you to the University of Ghana. Let's delve into some of them. I take you to the University of Ghana. As we speak now, agriculture science, charging 35% increment.
35% increment. What's the original?
The original figure is 1,751.
So 35% of that.
And the new figure is 2,370.
Wow.
That is the University of Ghana. I take you to the University of Ghana residential facilities, where increment in charges are going up to 100%. 100%. University of Ghana Medical School hostels. Last time they paid 714. Now they are paying 1,428. 100% increment. Block D is being charged 78% increment. This is against a 15% approval.
But are you also considering the general economic situation where inflation is out of the roof?
That is where we, as the National Union of Ghana Students, moved our position from do not increase at all, considering the same economic implication, and agreed with Parliament or decided to reasonably work with Parliament. We've not asked that school fees may not be charged. We are not saying do not increase at all. All we are saying is that Parliament is Parliament. It is the House of Laws. No university is a law unto themselves. They should respect that. Let me take you to the University of Mines and Technology. Mechanical engineering, 27%. Mining, 30%.
petrochemical geoscience, 44%. We are not talking out of vacuum. We are talking after concrete data analysis by the National Secretariat of the National Union of Ghana Students. Let me take you to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. When you get to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, their residential facilities are charging 100% cost. Wow. 100%. You go to Medical School of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, 94%. 94%. And you see, this is not because there is no system to check in. This is not because there is no one to say, do not do this, do not do that. This is because persons who ought to know better and ought to be sensitive to the plight of students, because it is a public institution for a reason, have decided that they do not care about the law, to do what they want.
But if you've heard the finance minister say that we're not in normal times.
And that is how come we are here. We are not in normal times is the reason why it is 15%. If we were in normal times, we wouldn't have done 50, we would have probably done 5. What we are saying is very simple. It must be immediate, it must be urgent. The commitment to reduce the fees must be immediate. The whole concept of we will reduce it is a bit problematic, because you are taking the fees. As I speak to you, students are going to the bank to pay the fees, and they are paying it as against these various increments I mentioned out to you. They are paying it against increments charged by university management, who we know will not refund their monies to them. Imagine someone is in the final year student. You charge 94%, pays fees, has no outlook again for the next academic year. What happens? That is why there are laws. And the law says do not charge beyond 15%. How is this so difficult for our universities?
So is it a case that they have tried to give you an explanation and you have refused to hear them?
There has not been
or
any
they have not
them.
been any. Have you demanded?
I'm coming from JTEC. I'm coming from JTEC. I just finished a meeting. We just presented a petition to JTEC,
okay.
Deputy Director General Professor Ahmed Janako. We appreciate all they do for us. We appreciate every single thing. But what we are saying is that time is of essence. JTEC has made it clear that they've written 2 letters to the institutions. Two. Our universities are ignoring 2 letters from the tertiary.
How is it looking like on those on scholarships? Or they're not affected at all?
I mean, they're affected. They are affected. You see, the point.
So if you're on scholarship, you're not paying fees.
No,
if you're
two challenges here. One, students with student loan, students on student loan, who are not even receiving the loan because the finance minister has slashed student loan allocation from 5 million to 3 million. Already there is a second semester arrears, which has not been paid. Now you increase fees by 94%. That person owes from second semester. Now this has been increased to 94%. The loan amount is still a meager 3,000 Ghana cedis.
Right.
And the fees is 4,000 Ghana cedis. How does that person survive in school? Now we come to the issues of scholarships. We are owing scholarships, local scholarships for a huge amount. And students will have to pay. Because if you don't pay, the universities won't allow you. So until scholarship secretariat pays and you are refunded, you pay on your own.
So even those on scholarships are affected?
They are affected.
Because they have arrears because there's an increment?
One, because there's an increment and they would have to pay themselves because scholarship does not have money to pay.
Oh, wow.
So we owe scholarships. That's the situation we find ourselves in. So beyond the systems and beyond, this is a very simple call from the students of this country. Very simple call. 1, respect the law. 2, allow students pay 50%. 3, provide money to student loan trust fund. Ensure that student loan trust fund has enough resources. How do you run a student loan trust fund with 3 million Ghana cedis? You know what is much more painful, Annie? Now we've launched a no guarantor policy, which means that there's an increase. There's going to be an exponential increase in applications
of loan applications, right?
Now we've moved from a 20,000 applicants to about 44,000 applicants. Now there is a new batch of free SHS students coming.
20,000 to 44,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Now this is a challenge, and if you attended free SHS for senior school for free because you didn't have the funds to pay, how do you miraculously within a matter of 12 months get funds to finance tertiary education? And that explains why there is a decline in tertiary enrollment average when we are doing high secondary school enrollment average of about 70 to 80%. We are doing 19% for tertiary enrollment average. This is because there is a single most important barrier to accessing tertiary education, and that is cost. And it is being compounded by the managers of our university by deciding to disobey Parliament and charge illegal fees at the fate of insensitivity of its highest order.
I mean, you can describe it the way you want, insensitive, illegal, however you want to describe it, but maybe by the economic situation, it's what's going to aid the authorities in running the schools.
Our armed robbers in this country, are suffering out of hunger. So allow them take guns, go and shoot and kill and take money. That is the logic we are living in. The law says armed robbery is a crime. Your excuses does not matter. The law says do not charge beyond 15%. Your excuses does not matter. If you believe that your excuses are tangible enough, you go to parliament and defend it. As simple as that. Else, we will be sowing a seed for excuses for crimes, excuses for illegalities, excuses for insensitivities. And you know the challenges and the pain myself and the National Secretariat have when it comes to matters of students. We are relaxed. Nobody is really concerned. People listen to students in this country only when they route. Only when students route, that is when they are taken serious. And that is the problem I have, that we need not to get there. The National Union of Ghana Students has been accommodating. We've been understanding. We've been patient. We've listened to every time we've been spoken to. All we are saying is that people who ought to know the law must respect the law. Do not do this to our educational sector. We know there are challenges. Funding education has been a challenge because there is no money. Because Get Fund has been capped by the Capping Act 2017, which means that this year, out of 4.6 billion that is supposed to accrue to Get Fund is going to get only 1.8 billion. That is 39% of the 2.5% levy you pay to Get Fund. The Finance Ministry has decided that it will take 39% and give them only it will take 61% and give them only 39%. Last year it gave them just 66%. Last 2 years it gave them just 60%. Last 3 years it gave them just 65%. The figures are not good for us.
That's because we have used Get Fund.
Yes, and at the end of the day, this is where the challenge even comes from. Now the university says they don't have money. Government is not giving them money to run the universities. This is because Get Fund is not getting money to them, and then they come load all the costs, even at the situation where Parliament says do not do this. They disrespect, disobey Parliament, and it happens. I leave you with this simple analogy. We will give excuses. Now imagine any of us commit a crime and give an excuse. We would have called that person to wherever we have to hold that person to and punish that person. Is it because people carry the title of professorship? Is that why they are given the power and the mandate to treat students anyway and anyhow, even against a direct
So I want to assume that your reign is a difficult one. I mean, currently now you're dealing with those Commonwealth students and Sabah students at the University of Ghana who are out of the hall, the main halls, and then you're dealing with school fees as well. So the two major issues for you. And how's that going to happen? How are you going to?
Every time I've visited you here, it's been a difficult one for me. It's been a difficult year for all of us at the student front. It's because persons decide not to listen to students. They only listen to them when routing happens, and that's how come we have Commonwealth and Sabah at where we are now. We'll deal with that issue, but for now, we are begging our professors in the name of God Almighty, in the name of the Constitution in which they derive their power and their citizenship from. They should respect the provision by Act 1080 and let us have at least some smooth transition in our university spaces. For us, we'll do everything reasonable and legal to ensure these fees does not suffice. I'm assuring students, we just finished a meeting with JTEC, and the assurances are that we work together to ensure that nobody is charged any illegal or unapproved fees. Calm down. I know a lot of planning is going on as we speak, a lot of caucusing is going on. Let's calm down in the face of these hard times, and let's decide that we are going to work together with the national executives of the union and get an amicable solution towards this. We will not rest. There is no Christmas until fees are reversed. Thank you.
Right, Mr. Ampofo, thank you. That's a president for NUGS. We'll be following up with you, and then let's see how you
proceed.
Yes, we'll be there. We are sure we'll be there.